Good evening, everyone. My name is Carly Rappaport-Stein, and I'm the Executive Director of Intercultural Journeys. Thank you so much for being with us tonight in these very unusual times. I am streaming to you from my home, like many of you probably are watching from home and being home in this time. I think in these moments when we are so closed off from each other, it is so important to find these moments of connection, which is why I am so happy that we're able to bring music and conversation to you tonight. I hope you will enjoy, I know you will enjoy watching Yosef Goldman, Joey Weisenberg, Chava Mirel, and Zach Fredman as they perform and as they speak about their work. And I know we're going to have a fantastic conversation after the pre-recorded playlist runs its course. If you love what you see tonight, I hope that you will become a donor to Intercultural Journeys. In these tough times, we need our friends and our family to help sustain us. If you would like to support work like what you saw tonight, and to support the work of Intercultural Journeys for years to come, please visit interculturaljourneys.org/donate. Again, that's interculturaljourneys.org/donate. In these times, your support goes an even longer way than usual. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I know you are going to enjoy what you're about to see, and I will look forward to having a conversation with you after the program. Enjoy.
Hi, I'm Yosef Goldman. I want to welcome you to tonight's presentation, No Other But You, a playlist and conversation presented by Intercultural Journeys. I want to express my gratitude to Intercultural Journeys for presenting this exploration of my music. And I hope that you find aspects of tonight's program meaningful. Thank you.
We are loved, loved, and loved by an unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by an unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by an unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by an unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by an unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by an unending love. Open up my heart. I know I am love. I know I am love. Open up my heart. I know I am love. I am love. I am love. I am love. Open up my heart. I know I am love. I know I am love. Open up my heart. I know I am love. I am love. I am love. I am love. Ooh, 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 ooh. We are loved, loved, loved by an unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by an unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by an unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by an unending love. Open up my heart. I know I am love. I know I am love. Open up my heart. I know I am love. I am love. I am love. I am love. Open up my heart. I know I am love. I know I am love. Open up my heart. I know I am love. I am love. I am love. I am love. We are loved, loved, loved by an unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by an unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by an unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by an unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by an unending love.
I am a rabbi and an oud player and composer. I grew up in St. Louis, Missouri, where I started playing classical guitar when I was 6 years old, and I had the same teacher, John McClellan, from when I was 6 till I was 18. He would come once a week. He'd file my nails so they were all ready to play the guitar, and there were years of really rebelling against it. But by college, I knew I wanted to study music seriously, and I did that. And at some point, I didn't want to be a professional classical guitarist. The music hadn't kind of grabbed hold of me, and I had seen the oud, and I was transfixed by its shape and eventually by the sound of the instrument and all the music that it plays. And so over the years, I've kind of moved to that instrument. I still play the guitar, but I spend a lot of time on the oud.
Anna bechoach gedulat Yemincha tatir tzerura Kabel rinat amlecha Sangvenu tarenu nora Anna bechoach gedulat Yemincha tatir tzerura Kabel rinat amlecha Sangvenu tarenu nora Na 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 gibona na na gibona na na gibona na na gibodoshe yichudcha doshe yichudcha kevavat shomre Anna bechoach gedulat Yemincha tatir tzerura Kabel rinat amlecha Sangvenu tarenu nora Anna bechoach gedulat Yemincha tatir tzerura Kabel rinat amlecha Sangvenu tarenu nora Na 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 gibona na na gibona na na gibona na na gibodoshe yichudcha doshe yichudcha Anna bechoach gedula Yemin chatatir tzerura Kabel rina tamlecha Sangveinu taharenu lora
The song is called Nagibor, and it comes out of a prayer. The prayer is called the Ana Bechoach, and it's said on Friday evenings right before you welcome the Shabbat presence. So it's this beautiful moment, and in the traditional imagery, the Shabbat was imagined as a bride. We call her a beloved now, taking the gender out of the thing. But it's like the moment when the beloved is coming to greet you, right before that. And so it's a moment of excitement, kind of like being on the edge of something. It's got a tenderness to it. And I think the melody came out years ago at the very beginning of when Yosef and I were starting to play together, and along with another friend, Shir Yaakov. And I think I had written this melody, and Shir had said, "Oh, let's use it with the Ana Bekoach." And we did it one Friday morning, and I think that Friday night we were singing it in public. We would get the melodies together Friday morning, and we'd give them a go right away. And I remember the three of us being at Romamu on the Upper West Side, a beautiful synagogue, and singing this song.
My musical influences are pretty diverse. I'd say in the music that I write, certainly there is the influence of the Ashkenazi, which is the Eastern European Jewish music that is the heart of American Jewish music, cantorial music, Hasidic music. But I also grew up in a family that was, my mother's family is from Yemen and Syria and Turkey. And so we grew up listening to the cantors from that world, as well as the great artists from the Middle East, Kulthum and Farid al-Atrash. And that music was dormant in me for a while, but when I started writing my own music, it certainly emerged and became one of the styles of music that I've started studying. I love good harmonies and singers who wear their heart on their sleeves. give me any sort of psychedelic folk from anywhere in the world, from the 70s, Turkey, Africa, Southeast Asia, devotional music from anywhere in the world. I'm fascinated, and some of the music that has inspired me or moved me the most, or inspired my own creativity the most, is music that in languages that I don't understand.
There's something about his vulnerability, his tenderness, even his woundedness, that he lets it come forth in his voice and in his music. And not everybody does that. That's a unique, even a high spiritual quality, to be able to say, I'm going to let you see my vulnerability and let it be made beautiful through music.
يلا بينا نطلع
I'm part of a community of musicians, that write and share music that is functional, that is meant to connect people to each other. It's meant to connect people to the source beyond them, meant to connect people internally. And it's amazing to see in this moment the increased demand for music. First of all, I'm just grateful to see ways, the ingenuity of my musician friends that are finding ways to get work and to create in this new platform, in these fast changing times. But there's a real thirst for musicians and music that people are wanting an expression of something deep, a spiritual, emotional expression that maybe is expressed in words, but is also beyond words. That is something that only music can provide.
בשוך עבדך אל רצונך ירוץ עבדך כמו אייל ישתחווה מול הדרך ירא לו ידידותך מנוף עצוב וכל טעם מערב לו ידידותך מנוף עצוב שפחת עולם אז תתחזק ותתרבה והייתה לה שפחת עולם ותקיים ורחמך וחוסנה בין אוהבך ונחשוף נכזף לראות בתפארת ובך. אנא אלי מחמד ליבי הוא שנה ואל תתעלם. אנא אלי מחמד ליבי הוא שנה ואל תתעלם. אמן 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 אמן.
Yeah, my name is Joey Weisenberg. I'm the co-director and founder of Hadar's Rising Song Institute, which is designed to help cultivate Jewish spiritual life through song. And we put music into the world, and we train musician leaders. And but I'm a musician. I grew up in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and I grew up playing in blues bars and also listening to old Jewish music. So there was always a bit of a combination of American music and Jewish music that's gone throughout my whole life. And I lived in New York for 14 years, worked as a professional session musician there. And now I've lived in Philadelphia for 5 years, and it's been a pleasure.
נפשי תערוג
So music is the one form of art that is not contained by boundaries. You put out sound waves and they travel where they will. You sing a song and it's passed along, not like a painting that is static and captures a moment and lives on a wall. And so music has always been a form of art, a form of communication to bring people together. Music has always been functional. Many types of music historically were not even known as music. They were just forms of ritual or forms of communication, things that were inherently part of community building. And so I think that it's almost reclaiming our heritage to say that music, yes, music belongs in the concert hall. Music is a performance art, but music is also, of its nature, a tool to bring people together.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Ashares, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malchei Amelachim, Oy HaKadosh, Oy HaKadosh, Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Ashares, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malchei Amelachim, Oy HaKadosh, Baruch Hu. Oy Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Ashares, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malchei Amlachim, Oy HaKadosh, Baruch Hu. Boachem L'Shalom, Malachei Ashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malchei Amelachim, Oy HaKadosh, Oy HaKadosh, Baruch Hu. Boachem L'Shalom, Malachei Ashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malchei Amelachim, Oy HaKadosh, Baruch Hu. Boachem L'Shalom, Malachei Ashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malchei Amlachim, Oy HaKadosh, Baruch Hu. צאתכם לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון. מי מלך מלכי המלכים, אוי הקדוש, אוי הקדוש ברוך הוא. צאתכם לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון. מי מלך מלכי המלכים, אוי הקדוש ברוך הוא. אוי צאתכם לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון. מי מלך מלכי המלכים, אוי הקדוש ברוך הוא. מי מלך מלכי המלכים, אוי הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Initially, he had a hard choice, a hard time making the choice. Like, so which things should we do? Because there's so many options, right? And we in the end we decided that it was worth it to represent lots of different parts of his musical being on this album. So there's a very wide soundscape on the album, going from Mizrahi sounds that are sung in makam from the east, to the depths of the sound of the Eastern European niggin, to sort of American R&B pop sounds and there are some amazing Latin sounds, like almost like a Cuban bands, and Puerto Rican sounds like he grew up with in New York, and then all kinds of American music that comes into it as well. So he has all of these different musical strands that are coming through his ears and through his being. And so that was very special to work with, and to get to help bring that out.
לשם ייחוד קודשא בריחו ושכינתי, הנני מוכן ומזומן לקיים מצוות עשה. לשם ייחוד קודשא בריחו ושכינתי, הנני מוכן ומזומן לקיים מצוות עשה. של ספירת העומר, של ספירת העומר, של ספירת העומר, של של ספירת העומר.
7 שבתות תמימות תהיינה, 7 שבתות תמימות תהיינה.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sfirat ha'omer, al sfirat ha'omer, al sfirat ha'omer, al sfirat ha'omer.
7 שבתות תמימות תהיינה, 7 שבתות תמימות תהיינה.
I am Chava Mirel. I am a musician, educator, and spiritual leader in the Jewish community and beyond. And I'm so grateful to be here. Well, I'm a songwriter and singer, first and foremost. I've been doing those things since I was a little kid and never stopped. And I feel happiest when I'm singing about uplifting things, spiritual topics, whether it be in a religious context or a jazz club. There's so many beautiful spiritual songs, like Somewhere Over the Rainbow. It's like the most popular song of all time, but it's also a really deeply spiritual song. So that's, I think, my role on this earth as a musician.
Ki כי לא יאה, כי לא נאה.
Let me just tell you, Rabbi Yosef Goldman has more influences than anyone I know. I mean, he is deeply connected with so many different music forms. And I mean, in his body, in his mind, he has knowledge of so much different kind of music. So, you know, for someone like me, who's kind of, you know, a music obsessive, to meet another person in the Jewish community, a rabbi no less, who has those deep musical influences and can produce the sound from them, it was such a thrill for me. And I think he saw that in me too, as someone who's trying to produce these sounds that, you know, come from all over the world.
2, 1. Blessed love, holy love, sacred love, abundant love, source of love, let your love shine down on me. From below, from above, love I hope I'm worthy of, oh source of love, let your love shine down on me. Before the morning light, I already feel it shining. Before I open up my eyes, I already see it shining. When my road is rough, I can feel your love, and that's enough for me. Blessed love, holy love, sacred love, abundant love, source of love, let your love shine down on me. As above, so below, love from whom all blessings flow, oh source of love, let your love shine down on me.
Among the things that we could be doing in this moment is taking another look at the music that inspires us and spending some time in relationship with that music as a mirror as an opportunity to reflect back to us our state, or it could be as an opportunity for, we know where we're at, but it's an opportunity to amplify that state and allow us to express it. Sometimes we just need a good cry, or whatever it is to allow, or sometimes we just need a darn good dance party. or maybe it's, maybe we just need to cry through a dance party. Whatever it is, I encourage you to find the music that is going to speak to you, that is going to be functional. I think that's really part of what we do. Is we not all, some of the music that we create at Rising Song Records is just hopefully darn good music to listen to, but most of it is hopefully functional and has the ability beyond words, beyond a class or a lecture or a book, to connect us to each other.
Well, this is a quote from Reb Nachman of Wroclaw, And it says, the whole world is a narrow bridge. So in our personal lives, for each of us, our worlds have narrowed so much. I mean, now everything we thought we had access to the entire world, and now our access is very limited.
Yeah.
And then the next phrase is, the most important thing is not to be afraid. And in the English, he says, as I walk along this very narrow bridge, I will not be afraid, knowing you are with me. And so connection with all the support that we have access to in the world, even though our landscape has narrowed, we still have access to all the support and the connection with holiness and with creation and with each other, you know, in different ways. So, I mean, those words that just keep cycling through my mind. I will not be afraid, knowing you are with me.
העולם כולו גשר צר מאוד, כל העולם הוא גשר צר, כל העולם כולו גשר צר מאוד, כל העולם הוא גשר צר מאוד, כל העולם כולו גשר צר מאוד, כל העולם הוא גשר צר, כל העולם כולו גשר צר מאוד, כל העולם הוא גשר, והעיקר
העיקר
I loved that. I loved seeing all that music. That was so cool.
Joey, thanks for producing so much music for Rising Song Records.
What a pleasure. And I love seeing the epic chorus and seeing Chava. What a great thing Intercultural Journeys is doing here.
Really, this was supposed to be a live event. For anybody who didn't know, this was supposed to be a live event with most of the people that you saw tonight. And Intercultural Journeys was committed to making sure that the event happened, even if we couldn't do it in person. And just so impressed and grateful for what you've created.
Thank you, Yosef. And thank you, everyone who's watching now, for joining us tonight for the concert and for tuning in. I'm Carly Rappaport-Stein. I'm the Executive Director of Intercultural Journeys, and I'm thrilled to have these amazing artists in boxes around my head tonight. We've got Yosef Goldman, Joey Weisenberg, Chava Mirel, Zach Fredman. Thank you all so much for your music. That was so moving, so beautiful. And I can't wait to hear more from you as the conversation continues. Before we get fully started, I want to say a quick shout out to my IJ team, Mia Benjamin, who did an incredible amount of work putting tonight's video and audio together and figured out how to do all of the live streaming. She gets a lot of credit. And of course, Alex Shaw, Intercultural Journeys Artistic Director, for his beautiful curation. So thank you to the team, thank you to the artists. And how this will work is I will be monitoring the questions in YouTube and reading them out to folks and getting a response. If you have any trouble as you're watching it, typing something in YouTube as a question, feel free to email us at info@interculturaljourneys.org. That's info, I-N-F-O, at interculturaljourneys.org. We're happy to take your questions either way. I am going to start with a question I see about Yosef's musical influences growing up. Yosef, do you want to talk a little bit about your musical influences growing up?
Sure. I listened to a lot of Jewish music growing up, but also went to Tower Records and looked for anything that I could find that was new sounds. I went to a yeshiva day school where that wasn't necessarily the stuff that my friends were listening to, but it's where I remember early on discovering, I think I was 12 when I discovered John Zorn and Tzaddik Records, and was listening to, I mentioned new sounds, to John Schaefer. So all of the new music and world music that was in the New York scene, after the kids' music program that was on public radio on WNYC, I would listen to new sounds. I think Carl had mentioned this to you, that the Syrian Jews in New York were very much into salsa music. They'd go dancing and listen to Tito Puente and Celia Cruz and the whole scene. So alongside the records of Kulthum, we had the music of Tito Puente. My father was very much into both classical music and listened to a lot of artists from around the world as it became available. So a lot of Ravi Shankar. But probably the deepest influence, sense of really was deep in my soul, was the music that I was hearing in the synagogues from my cantor Stuart Goffin and the small Hasidic shtibels, little one-room prayer halls on the Upper West Side, the synagogue of Shlomo Carlebach, and the music that we would sing around the Shabbat table.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for that, Yosef. I'm seeing a couple more questions come in. It sounds like everyone was really reacting to the beauty of the recorded music and really interested to know. This question is from Jean, to hear more about how and where the recordings we played tonight were made.
I'll speak a little to that, and then maybe you can pass it along to Joey Weisenberg. We recorded Open My Heart live off the floor at the Germantown Jewish Center in Mount Airy in Philadelphia. And the crew, it was last April, about a year ago, and it included Zach and Chava and Joey and Deborah Sachs-Mintz and all those artists who I was mentioning in the chat. And that is a method of recording that captures the depth of the communication and the spirit of the music. And it's a method that has been honed by Joey Weisenberg, who was really a partner in creating this, was a co-producer. And love to hear from Joey about this method that he has used in all of the albums, the 7 albums that he has recorded.
Oh yeah, thank you. It's such a pleasure to make music that's real and that's alive. And I spent a fair amount of time in New York working as a session musician, playing in booths where you'd go in and be a little bit lonely in a booth and play a mandolin part, and you never met the band. And I think now more than ever, I love to just get together with real musicians who are really awesome and play music in real time. And what that means is that we get all the mistakes, and they're all on the album. And we also get all of the miraculous, unscripted moments of beauty that we never could have planned, because you can't plan those things, because music is just kind of flows out in real time. And when you have a bunch of different musicians together, there's magic that can happen in the real execution, the real nuance of hearing each other, which I really think is the whole point of music. And there are some times now that I'm being a little more flexible, and maybe allowing a form edit or an overdub here or there if necessary. We did that a little bit on Yosef's album. But I think in general, the idea is to be making the music for real. And when we listen back to it, we think, wow, we really did that. That was really special.
It was really special. As a listener, it was certainly really special hearing all of that and hearing just how your voices and your instruments play off of each other. I'd love actually to talk a little bit about collaboration, because I know that all of you are just phenomenal collaborators. Maybe you could talk a little bit about how you react and interact with each other as collaborators.
Yos, you taking this one?
The first thing that came to mind is when I met Joey about 10 years ago, and I was studying at yeshiva, an egalitarian yeshiva summer program called Hadar, and Joey was teaching there, and was teaching melodies, mostly melodies that he wrote. And the favorite place to hold the sessions was in the back stairwell.
Yeah.
Second favorite place was the kitchen because of the acoustics and the way that it allowed us and encouraged us to listen to each other. And I learned that from each of these musicians is the joy of listening and of curiosity and hearing my voice, my instrument in relationship to others.
I'll chime in and add that it was fun to watch some of those old videos that I haven't seen in ages, and to see that Yosef, we've been playing this music now for a long time. And Joey, what you talk about in terms of being in the space together and being able to see each other's faces and respond to each other musically, like even when we're following along the charts and we're playing the song as it's written, that things change in the midst of the session, you know, and so Yosef's voice does this or the violin does that, and we're vibrating to each other, and so it's so dynamic, so much more dynamic than you might think, and to be able to harness that skill of listening as the thing's happening and to be fluid about your playing such that you don't even know what you're going to play next because you don't know what the person next to you is going to do. And it makes it really fun.
Well, speaking of listening, it sounds like you're all very good at listening to each other and collaborating with each other. But we have a question from Marissa asking about some of the other music that you're listening to now and what you're feeling inspired by. And maybe each of you could take a turn answering.
Does anyone want to start?
Go Chava.
I'll start. First of all, I'm feeling a little verklempt, which is a Yiddish word that means that I'm overwhelmed with emotion, because, you know, hearing you talk about playing music together, I feel like I'm listening to like love poetry, and I'm like, you know, I'm pining for a loved one. So I'm pining for you all in the sense that, you know, we love playing together, and we were going to have a chance to play together in this concert, and now we're talking about it, and I'm just looking forward to that day. And so something that I have been listening to is this album as a, you know, source of different kind of inspiration than it was to me a year ago, and it was a year ago. I felt, you know, the world felt like a narrow bridge in some ways then too, and it felt like very supportive to know that we have each other and we have the Holy One, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But I'm also listening to a lot of sound healing recordings and just a lot of sounds that are healing as well. Kind of not as a product, not as a musical product on Spotify necessarily, but just as a means for transmitting healing vibrations to myself and my loved ones. So my listening has taken a little turn toward healing music.
Gotta say, I'm listening to Chava's album a lot. That was the last thing my 5-year-old daughter played before bedtime. Listening to a lot of sacred music coming out of Israel, and music that kind of borders the sacred and secular line. Yishai Ribo and Rav David Menachem and Mika Carney. Some of the people that I've been listening to this past week, getting myself into the spirit of Passover. And going back in advance of this and listening to some of Joey's first albums and Zach's albums. I really enjoy listening to the music of I guess I should also add that there's an amazing amount of really, really high quality Jewish music that's being recorded now by people that I call friends and mentors, and it's a real gift to be able to listen to the music of people that have also taught me so much about music.
Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, take it, Zach.
I haven't been listening to so much music, actually. I in this quarantine time, I've been most mornings by 10, 11 o'clock when the household is a little bit settled. I've been playing for an hour. I've been getting online and doing a live show for about an hour. And sometimes I'll do that again in the evening. So I've been and I don't have really time to rehearse, you know, so I'll just get on it and play whatever I can and kind of stumble through that'll sound decent for people. And I haven't been listening to so much music, much less than I usually do. If I had to name a thing or two, Omer Avital, a beautiful jazz bassist, put out a new record that is really beautiful, and I've been spending time on the violin. And so there's these two brothers out of 1930s and 40s Iraq called Salah and Daoud al-Kuwaiti. One of them was a violinist and composer. The other was the singer and oud player, and amazing, amazing deep music.
Yeah, I also I haven't been listening to a lot of music in the recorded medium lately, except for trying to listen to some of my friends when they record albums and, you know, hear what they're doing and be a part of it. I have always learned most of the music that I know from real people playing music in real time that I'm actually around. It's just been, I was starting from hearing my mother play the piano when I was a kid, and my dad play amazing flamenco guitar, and then hearing amazing blues musicians play, and I'd be on stage with them, and they'd go da 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 da, and then they'd turn to me and say, "Do it," right? And that's, you know, that's how I learned. I learned more from the local musicians in Milwaukee than I did from listening to Eric Clapton or Buddy Guy or any of the great musicians that are on records, although I love them too. You know, and it's still that way. I'd say I love listening to music from time to time. I probably listen to more of the things that my kids put on, you know, and it's just there. And, you know, now my kids are the DJs, and they put on whatever they put on, and we spent a lot of time dancing around the house to Michael Jackson, and you know, that's a good time. And but you know, when it comes down to it, I've learned more from you folks and from all of the people that are real and that show me things and take the time to slow down something they're doing and show me how it works, you know. And that's what's been really exciting for me for many years.
Yeah, I always love hearing what your beautiful and diverse inspirations are. It's so interesting to hear how each of you connect to the artistic world outside yourselves. I have another question from Michael in the chat room. Michael was curious about how many takes it took to create each of the songs that we saw tonight.
One take.
Yeah, I mean, so one of Joey's roles as the co-producer was he was leading the band, and also there's a term, Hebrew term, gevura, which is holding the discipline and strength. There were only so many takes that we would be able to take, partly because we had about 2.5 days to record the entire album. So I would say, I don't know, there were maybe, you know, 2 to 4 takes on each song. I don't think we took more than that on any of the songs. We just kind of went with it and took what we had, which is going back to what Joey was saying about the method is pretty much in the method.
Great. It would have been very impressive if it was all one take. I liked that answer, Zach. I did want to ask, you know, one of the things that's so interesting in watching your music online is that there is such a feel like it is supposed to be created in community. And I got that sense watching the chat with how many folks joined in, that there's a real community feeling to what you create. I would love to hear you talk a little bit about how community influences how you perform and what you perform and how you create.
I'd love to hear from each of the musicians here on that. I'll just say that there's, so much of my musical upbringing was in synagogues and around the table, also in choirs, but where there's in the synagogue and where it's really in Orthodox synagogues, it's all a cappella, and it's all about the voices and what you're doing with your own voice and your own body to elicit sound and create a collective musical prayer experience. And so, all of these hybrid forms of musical experiences that each of us create between a prayer session or a prayerful song session and a stage performance. And I think that each point along that spectrum is present even on the far ends. Friends?
Yeah, I find that line very interesting, Yosef. Like I love folk music. By that I mean kind of tunes that are simple enough that the average person, who doesn't consider themselves musical necessarily, can kind of jump in and bop along a little bit. And then you also appreciate the things where there's expertise and people, the musicians or singers who've devoted, years and years and years to mastery of little things. So when you can create songs that both have something simple that everybody can get into and space inside of them for the masters to come and, make our hearts bop around a little bit, that's kind of the thing that I'm after.
I think there's also that energetic thing of having people in a room together, which we're also exploring right now, because I mean, I don't think I've ever led so many services actually as I have in the past month, and they're all been in this format that we're in right now. Everything is in this format actually, friends, groups, conversations, everything. And so it's like, it's a challenge to find how do you draw energy from people if you're not in the room with them, but we are actually, in some ways, we're closer than we've ever been. I've never been this close to all of you at the same time, where I can see your face clearly and that we're all frontally present with each other in a way that we don't always do in conversations or in a rehearsal or a performance or anything like that. So it's interesting to see, there's different ways to draw energy from a group, but having people show up with intention actually creates its own energy.
Yeah. Yeah, there's, I say that Rav Kook had 4 levels of song that he used to write about, that came up in a few contexts, that each person has his or her own or their own song, and then it expands outwards to the song of the community, and the community has a song, and then that's like the family or the groups of families that are in tribes together. And then expanding out from there are the songs that are sung by all of humanity, or so it seems. And expanding out from there are the songs that are being sung by all of creation. The songs that are being sung by the oceans and by the rocks and the trees and the animals and all the people in all forms. And that really the job of the musician ideally is to try to transverse across these different domains, and to be able to it can be very hard to hear the songs of the frogs, right? But it can also be very hard to hear the songs that are being sung in your own heart, of your own soul, your own neshama, right? And so to try to stretch those out, I think, is partly what Zach is saying also.
Nice, Joey. That's beautiful.
I
think somebody asked a question pertaining to that in the chat about how we are finding our own creativity in this time of quarantine. And so the first thought that jumped to me was, I think I realized it, I don't know when I realized it, but I think some of the best songs that are melodies that have come through me are ones where I'm feeling something, where like there's a feeling and you can kind of get the feeling into the creation, you know, to take the thing and give it a sound. What does it sound like? And so I think maybe there's even a deluge of it. There's almost too much feeling, you know, and that's why it might be hard to create. But if you can find the thing about what's been inside of your experience that you want to remember, or that you want to give a container to, and make something out of that, so that the thing you create is the holder for the feeling. That's always been a method for me, and it's the creation then becomes a memory keeper. It's really beautiful to know, oh, I wrote that at that time when this was happening, and you have that forever.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's amazing, Zach. I would say about this time is one of the gifts of this time. You know, as an artist, a creative person, a lot of what we do is so performative. I mean, that's by nature, right? And so there's always a filter of how is this going to be received? And there's just a gift right now that just by virtue of the circumstance, we're not really in a performative state. You know, we're not out there on the street with our presentation face on, interacting with people on a regular basis. So it allows us to have more organic expression that's not always being observed. And that's been a gift for me. I actually have writer's block right now. I'm just going to say it out loud. Like I've written a couple things this year, but like it hasn't been like the outpouring that I like to have. But it's been really nice for me. I've been singing to my plants, and they're very non-judgmental, and they're not, you know, critiquing my lyrics whatsoever. And it's like, it's been very freeing for me to not be in the public eye more, and to really have that space to just be a human being and not be observed.
Yeah.
We have two young children, including a toddler who's about 20 months old, who needs constant attention. So some of the creativity has been in when little sparks of ideas that my wife and I have been sharing and writing together, often with our kids in the room, kind of in lieu of having time alone to sit with the creative energy. And we've written a few melodies together, including Eliyahu Hanavi, which was on the album. So it's been really powerful to return to writing together, taking the moments for creativity where we can find them.
Yeah, and I would just encourage anybody who's looking to try to find some creativity at this moment in their lives, when maybe there's a little less going on, to open the door and just walk onto your rampart, you know, even if that's as far as you're going to go, and open up your ears and listen to the songs of the birds, and see if you can hear those songs. It's possible that there's tons of birds singing all the time and you don't even hear them. If my experience is that if I can take a walk or just go outside for a second and hear the birds, then I'm in a much better place. And then I can use that same trick of opening up my ears. I can open up the gates of my mind to go out and hear the river of song, which is swimming by at all moments, and to scoop a few notes out, right? And that's you know, for me, that's how it's been working with me, and for also with the Rising Song residents that have been composing a lot lately.
So wonderful to listen to you all.
It really is. And Zach, I think that's, Joy, I'm sorry, I think that's a beautiful note to end on, with this idea of open hearts and open ears, listening with our whole bodies to what the world has to offer us. And as we start to sign off, I hope that everyone who's watching tonight felt their heart open and their ears open, and will continue to take that into the weeks and months and year ahead. I want to thank again Yosef, Joey, Chava, and Zach for a beautiful concert and a beautiful conversation. Thank you so much. And again to Alex for his curation, and Nia for her wonderful technical work. And then to all of you who stayed tuned with us from beginning to end. Thank you so much for being a part of tonight's music and work. I hope you'll connect with us again. Intercultural Journeys, www.interculturaljourneys.org. Thank you all so much.
Intercultural Journeys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Yosef.
Thank you to all of you, and have a great rest
Thanks,
of your
Yosef.
night.
Thanks, Carly.